it was all the time, except he wasn't looking at me. He was looking at the script and making sure that I was word perfect. But did it make me crazy at the time? Yes. Did it help me with my performance in terms of anger or repression? Absolutely. Could I act to him right off camera and point my... Absolutely. And I hug him today, and am grateful for pushing me and for giving me this opportunity.
He says, Oliver, I'm over here. And suddenly Oliver realized that the scene was not continuing, and he looked up from his script and saw that Michael was calling him out, that he was upset that he wasn't watching his performance.
In those days, we used to be closer to the actor sometimes, when the monitor system wasn't as sophisticated. I would prefer to be away from the actor in the tent, because I could be very strong with my thought waves, and I don't want to throw him by looking at him, because then he'll feel he's being judged if he looks over at me, you see. Because your eyes should encompass the room, and you should be free. That's why the eye line's important to an actor. So I don't want to break his concentration. I mean, as you're sweeping by, you see a director judging you. Sometimes I could throw you, especially somebody like Michael. So and that's why I pretend to look down, but I'm really looking up when they're not looking. You know, it's very rarely do our lives, because I'm looking like this, you see. I'm really concentrating on his performance. But I don't want him to know that I am. You believe in the script, and that's the reason you're doing the movie. Some directors don't. They say, I'm going to do it. But if you really believe in the script, that's your Bible. You've got to remember what you intended before you even shot the scene. Because once you go into the scene, it's going to be action. And it's going to be, there's no time to think, and there's not that meditation, or ability to correct time is very expensive, you say. So you're really into huge mistakes. And it's very important to understand what you intended, not to forget that, because you get lost sometimes out there.
To be specific, where I was off on a tangent, and in acting, you know, I thought I knew the part, and who the hell are you to tell me I'm the boy's father in real life? And he was right. An author is always entitled to his language or her language, and for the director as well as the writer. It's real special. So he was disciplined with me about that. He got real close with me and said, hey man, those are not my words. Those are your words, and those are fine, but for this film, for this scene, at this time, I'd like these words. And I'm glad he did.
Restoration play, there's almost a foppishness of these two peacocks. Both of us sort of kind of fancy dressers, very superficial, very kind of self-conscious in terms of effect.
Showdowns bore me, Larry. Nobody wins. You can have the company. In fact, it's going to be fun watching you and your giant ego try to make a horse race of it.
That particular scene had a feeling of like, who's got a bigger dick than the other one. And
I was doing a tribute to George C. Scott, whom I loved, from his famous line in The Hustler, you owe me money. And I was just trying to tell George, hey, that still is impressive with me. So I made a decision in that moment to try to come right back at him, when I should have backed off and given a little more balance to it, and I learned a valuable lesson that day about trying to match a guy that's been there a lot longer than you. There's a lot more experience. Both of us had a little problem with that, because Oliver loves to move his camera rather than just do still coverage, talking heads. He moves off one to the other. So we had to wait till the camera came on us. If you see that scene again, watch how long it takes. And we were beat, get up there, boom, now talk, beat, get back down, now get over, you talk, now beat, go back and forth. Remember, there was no coverage in that scene. So both Charlie and I were straining, because the emotional life and the dialogue wanted to tumble on one another, and yet visually we weren't on camera until we waited, So that's the discipline of that scene. That's a pretty good little scene.
Movie factory, I got a water-making factory. I don't know anything about these things. I'm just a conglomeration of these companies. But hey, the stock people are believe in me. They're tipping it. People are buying it. I'm getting bigger. I'm going to buy a few more companies. And then you pyramid it. You go up. And then maybe you sell out before it's too late, or you let it explode, and you get caught in the explosion. But that's happened. And many people have lost their jobs. And many people have lost their security, their sense of commitment. It's a pyramid scheme. It should never have been allowed. There should have been much more. I think the SEC let it go. They really should have paid attention. This lunatic, this guy who's living his life in a heightened realism, and he's getting away with it. He's a pirate. He's a buccaneer. Oh, he's going to get his in the end. You know it. But you're kind of rooting for him, because that's the American tradition of the swashbuckler, the outlaw, Jesse James. I think we all secretly want that. Not all, but Not the Blue Noses.
What's worth the lives of other people, including my own life? How much is it worth?
Oliver is definitely our blind justice. He is not afraid to put a mirror up to society and take the hits.
And action! Back up.